What's up, YouTube? Thomas L here. Well, since May's pretty much almost here, I decided to do my top 10 anticipated movies of May. Now, of course, April pretty much all the movies that got released in April is pretty much already out, and we just had Shazam, we had Avengers Endgame. So far this year has been great for films, but now May begins. And May's pretty much the major start of summer. So, yeah, there's lots of really interesting movies coming out, this May. And, well, here's my anticipated list. Coming in at number 10 is a film called Long Shot. Long Shot stars Seth Rogen as a character named Fred Flosky, who's a gifted and free-spirited journalist with a affinity for trouble. And so you got Charlize Theron playing a character named Charlotte Field, who is one of the most influential women in the world, and she's of course also running for. She's like a powerhouse diplomat with a talent for mostly everything. And so the two of course have nothing in common except that she was actually Fred's babysitter and childhood crush. And so, when Fred, of course, reconnects with Charlotte, he, of course, charms her with his self-depicting humor and his memories of her youth and idolize him. And, of course, Charlotte is actually running for president. And so she, hires Fred as her speechwriter. And they, of course, there's also, some romance that are rekindled with the two. And it looks really good. I mean, I'm a fan of Seth Rogen. I've been a fan of that guy for about years. I have a bit of a crush on Charlize Theron. She's just awesome. This movie is directed by Jonathan Levine, who also directed Seth Rogen and other stuff like 50-50 and The Night Before. I think this looks like it could be something pretty interesting, and I do love me a good comedy. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how good this film will be. I mean, to be honest, I really don't know if it's going to be good in the box office, to be honest with you. But I'm still curious to checking out the movie next week. I mean, now, I'm probably also going to see Avengers again on Tuesday, but next Friday, I'm definitely seeing this opening day. Alright, coming in at number 9 is a horror film called Mob. Now, this movie is from Blumhouse and is directed by the Help director Tate Taylor. And it stars Octavia Spencer, Luke Evans is in this, Allison Janney. Some pretty good cast members. And in it, Octavia Spencer plays a lonely woman who befriends with a group of teenagers and decides to let them party at their house. And so, just when the kids, of course, think their luck couldn't get any better, crazy things start happening, and she becomes and the woman, of course, becomes crazy, nuts, and crazy stuff happens, with her around. Anyway, I didn't really know much what to expect out of this film, but the trailers have looked awesome. It looks creepy. I mean, a very different film for director Tate Taylor, because, I mean, of course, his last movie, which was that that Girl on the Train movie with Emily Blunt, God, that was so awful. So hopefully this will be a better film than his last one, because so far he did two solid movies, which was The Help and that Chadwick Boseman James Brown film Get On Up. So, and to me, Girl on the Train is probably his Bad Day in the Office film, but I'm really looking forward for Ma and curious to see how good the movie will be. And I'm also a fan of Octavia Spencer, so there's that. Okay. Alright, coming in at number 8 is Rockin Man. Now, this is, of course, a movie about famed singer Elton John, and stars Taron Egerton as the role of Elton John. I think the trailers have looked really good. I think Taron Egerton, I mean, coming off of that terrible Robin Hood movie, I think he looks really great as Elton John. The movie is also directed by Dexter Fletcher, who was one of the co-directors of Bohemian Rhapsody, which actually ended up being one of my favorite movies of last year. Of course, you also got Bryce Dallas Howard as Elton's mom here. You got Jamie Bell here in this. I think this movie looks really amazing, and I'm really cursed seeing it. I've been kind of wanting to see an Elton John biopic for a while. I mean, I remember hearing like Tom Hardy was supposed to star in this, but then that never happened. But Taron Egerton, I think he's going to be great as Elton, and I'm curious to see how good he does as well. Alright, coming in at number 7 is Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. Now, this, of course, chronicles the crimes of serial killer Ted Bundy. Now, this movie actually first premiered at Sundance with some pretty modest reviews. Of course, it got a little controversy, and like a few other studios was talking about picking it up. Like I think Paramount at one point was going to pick it up, and STX, but instead it went to Netflix. Which even though I would love have seen, even though I would have loved to see this movie on the big screen, I gotta say, for a business point of view, I think it's a good reason. It's kind of good for a Netflix pick this. Because before the controversy surrounding this movie and all that, I really don't think this movie will do any well if it was released in theaters. So anyway, now the film also stars Zac Efron as Ted Bundy. I'm a big fan of Zac Efron. I think that dude is awesome. It also features Lily Collins, who plays Ted Bundy's longtime girlfriend, Elizabeth Kloepfer, who, of course, was the one who pretty much turned Ted Bundy in because she of course refused to believe about him because of course she eventually found out what Ted Bundy has did, and so she refuses to believe what he did. But then one day, she finds out that he really killed people. So she was like, "Yeah, I'm turning you in." But anyway, Netflix is pretty decent with stuff about Ted Bundy because they also had this really great docu-series about Ted Bundy, which, by the way, the director of the documentary series also directed this film version, so there's that. Anyway, I think this looks really amazing, and I'm really curious to seeing it. The trailers that got released for this have looked amazing. Zac Efron looks great as Ted Bundy. You also got Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory in this. Haley Joel Osment. Who else is in this? A few other people. John Malkovich, who's now Netflix's Golden Boy. Anyway, I'm definitely intrigued by this. Alright, coming in at number 6 is Brightburn. Now, this movie is produced by James Gunn, who have been great when it came to horror movies. And, of course, he did great with Guardians of the Galaxy and lots of others. Brightburn looks terrific. It looks creepy. It looks terrifying. I mean, this is pretty much like a Superman horror film. That's what I'm really getting from this. It's like Superman if it was a horror flick. I mean, Patton Oswalt actually made it perfectly clear. This movie is what happens if Superman was Michael Myers. And I think this looks like it's gonna be a real creep fest, and I'm really curious to seeing it. And James Gunn, when he does, he's not a director of it or anything, but even when as a producer or a screenwriter for a horror movie, like that movie he did, Belko Experiment, which was awesome. So I'm really curious to see how good Brightburn will be. Yeah, it opens a couple of weeks, so hopefully it'll be good. Coming in at number 5 is Booksmart. Now, this movie is the directorial debut by actress Olivia Wilde, and here's what it's about. On the eve of their high school graduation, two academic superstars and best friends realize they should have worked less and played more. Determined not to fall short of their peers, the girls try to cram 4 years of fun into one night. This is really, I'm just gonna say, it's a female version of Superbad, and it makes sense because the one of the lead girls in this is actually the sister of Jonah Hill, who was of course in Superbad, and also it stars Kathleen Devers, who also is on that show Last Man Standing. I'm becoming a big fan of her. I think she looks great here. The movie looks really fun. It looks really funny. Of course, you got Will Forte, Phoebe herself, Lisa Kudrow's in this. I think this looks like it could be real fun, and I'm really curious to check it out. Alright, coming in at number 4 is Aladdin. Now, this is, of course, a little controversial. Like, there's people who have liked the trailers and people who haven't. I'm saying now, I'm one of the rare folks who actually didn't mind that trailer. The trailers for Aladdin have been pretty decent. I mean, you know, I really like that they're using some of the classic music in this. Will Smith, I think he looks great as a genie. Mina Masad as Aladdin looks great. I'm becoming a big fan of Naomi Scott. I think she looks amazing as Jasmine. They of course got Alan Tudyk as the voice of Iago. Jafar looks pretty cool. The movie is of course directed by Guy Ritchie, whose last film was King Arthur, and yeah, that was not so good. But I'm really curious to see how good Guy Ritchie would do with Aladdin. Like I said, the trails have been decent. Will Smith looks great. So, I mean, the movie could easily turn out to be trash. That could be a possibility. But I'm still really looking forward for it. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how good the film will be or will do as well. Now, the tickets are actually going to be on sale pretty soon, by the way. So, just an FYI there. Alright, coming in at number 3 is John Wick Chapter 3. Now, when the first John Wick movie came out, I was completely surprised of how great that movie was. Then the second one got released, and I thought it was even better than the first film. And now, part 3 of John Wick. It looks fun. I mean, you got Halle Berry, who I believe is playing the villain here. Like, her character seems a little villainy here. Of course, Keanu Reeves. I mean, this is probably one of his best modern roles. I mean, of course, with Keanu Reeves, you could think of any other characters. I mean, whether it be Neo or anyone. I mean, his best character right now has got to be John Wick. John Wick is, I guess you could say, like a comeback role for him. Because before John Wick, he kind of been off the rails, and then, John Wick came around, and he's been pretty decent. I mean, of course, this John Wick, he has been in some not so good stuff. Also, like that Replica movie he was in, but most parts, he's been pretty decent ever since John Wick got released, and I'm really curious to see how good Part 3 would do, and I mean, if Part 3 ends up being as good as 1 and 2, this could end up being one of the better modern trilogies. I'm saying right now. But of course, it all depends on if the movie is good or not. Because, I mean, who knows? The movie could come out and it could end up being the worst of the three. That could always be a possibility. I mean, it could be, let's see. It could be like the Die Hard 2 of this franchise. That could always be a possibility. But we'll see how good it will be. Alright, my number 2 anticipated pick is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, this is, of course, in the Monsterverse with, of course, after Godzilla, King of the Monster gets released, we got Godzilla vs. Kong coming out in March. I mean, you got some of the classic monsters here. You got Ghidorah's in this, Mothra, Rodan. And, of course, you got Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things famous in this. Vera Farmiga, Kyle Chandler. Some pretty good cast members. But I'm really hoping this time around Godzilla has more screen time than he did in the first film. Because even though I like that first Godzilla movie, I'm saying up front, main thing that was disappointing about that Godzilla movie is we waited they waited a long time to release to show Godzilla, and looks like Godzilla's from what I've been seeing from the previews and all. Godzilla's gonna have much a bigger part in this than he had in the first film, and they of course been shown like this IMAX preview of Godzilla. I mean, I've seen the like this preview shown during Avengers Endgame, Curse of La Llorona, and Shazam. And man, this preview they showed is probably the best preview I've seen from these Godzilla films. From these Godzilla trailers, I should say. It looked amazing, and I cannot wait to see how good this film would be. You know, the trailers have just been awesome. You know, Godzilla once again looks great. Rodan looks amazing. King Ghidorah, should have said King Ghidorah before instead of just Ghidorah, but you know, I'm definitely excited for this, and hopefully it's good enough because I'm also more pumped for a Godzilla versus Kong. Glad to see they bring back these classic movie monsters and all, and hopefully Godzilla King of Monsters will be terrific. Alright, my number one anticipated movie of May, it's a no shocker. My number one pick is Pokemon Detective Pikachu. For years I literally wanted a Pokemon live action movie, and we were finally getting it. And these trailers have looked just amazing. You got Ryan Reynolds as the voice of Pikachu here. Justice Smith, who I thought was pretty decent in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Of course, you got Catherine Newton in this, Ken Watanabe. Really like the cast here, and you know the world of Pokemon in this film looks amazing. Like, I really love the effects they use, and I never really played the Detective Pikachu game, and when they announced that they were going to do a Detective Pikachu movie, I was like, really? I mean, can't do a movie based on Ash or anything. You gotta do a movie that probably lots of people, including myself, haven't even heard of. But then the trailers have been released, and the trailers have won me over. I'm simply looking forward for this, and the early reactions for this have got me even more pumped. Because I believe the film Detective Pikachu actually premiered in, I believe, either Tokyo or China, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Tokyo it has where premiering. And the reviews have been really positive. Even non-Pokemon fans are actually digging that. So, yeah, Avengers Endgame is right now number one in the box office, but I'm saying it now. It's going to be number one until Pikachu comes out. I mean, I don't think I have a hard time imagining Detective Pikachu will make more than Avengers Endgame. Not saying that, but box office wise, for the number one spot, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Detective Pikachu. And after this, after Pikachu comes out, and if it makes lots of money, I guarantee you we're gonna be seeing more Pokemon movies in the future. I mean, they're already talking about doing a Pokemon Red and a Blue phone. There's already talks about a sequel to this, so yeah, we're gonna be seeing if the movie does well, of course, we're gonna be seeing more Pokemon movies in the future, and definitely cannot wait to see how good this will do, and how good the movie will be as well. And yep, Pikachu, I think the movie's gonna be great, and yeah, I already got my ticket for the film as well, so opening day, I'm definitely watching this, and yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Long Shot. 9, Mob. 8, Rockin Man. 7, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile. 6, Brightburn. 5, Booksmart. 4, Aladdin. 3, John Wick. Chapter 3. 2, Godzilla King of the Monsters. 1, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Now, there are a few other movies coming out in May that actually looks pretty decent. Let me pull up a list. Definitely not The Hustle. That movie looks, oh god, that looks so bad. The Intruder actually looks pretty decent. The new movie with Dennis Quaid, A Dog's Journey actually looks pretty decent. Let's see. Um, Sun is also the Star. Looks pretty decent. Let's see, the Tomorrow Man with John Lithgow and Blythe Danner looks decent. The Souvenir. Charlie Says, which is about Charles Manson, looks decent. Palms actually looks really funny with Diane Keaton, and which looks like Golden Girls meets Bring It On. That's what it pretty much looks like. Let's see. Ugly Dolls don't look half bad. Yeah, some pretty interesting movies coming out in May. Let me lead you guys. What movies are you looking forward to watch in May? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.